That's just a brief reflection, as we always do, on the game from Saturday. Obviously, 3 points, which was the most important thing, but I know that you're speaking after the game. You weren't overly happy with some aspects of your side's performance.
Yeah, I think the bits that caused us much more anxiety and probably controlled a little bit, dictated how I felt after the game, were we didn't defend set pieces anywhere near well enough. But having watched it back on the whole, it wasn't a terrible performance. We let ourselves down on a few occasions, and we need to manage our pitch better. There's a lot we've seen in the last few games, where we need to adapt a little bit more than maybe we would like to, because it's definitely affecting us, and that's affecting us in terms of the ball speed, the chances created by the opposition. The difference we have in the away and at home is role reversal, really, from where it was this time last year. And when I look at all the factors, we've got better. So it's not to do with the players. We've got better. The performances have been good. The one very, very different factor from last year is what we're playing on, which is really disappointing and frustrating, and makes it really difficult for us. But it is what it is. So we've managed to find a way to navigate it and to win games and score a lot of goals at home recently, which is fantastic. So we need to make sure that we're preparing the players as well as possible to give them as much chance of feeling as confident as possible when you go out there. Because you don't realise until you walk on it afterwards how poor it really is. So when I see the guys making a few mistakes, in particular, with the way we're asking the goalkeeper to play with Fish, big responsibility, takes big courage on any pitch, on the best pitch in the world. When he's doing that on pitches that aren't conducive to really playing football in that way, or doing it well, when he's doing that, it takes big balls, it takes big courage, and he does it incredibly well, as do the players. It takes so much courage to play like that on that pitch. So what I take from the game is the mentality of the group is brilliant. They don't ever want to lose what we're about. They adapt really, really well. It's on me if they make mistakes when the stakes are high near our own goal. It's never on Andy Fisher. He made some brilliant saves to win us the game after that. What I take from the game is that the players have huge courage and huge pride in what they're doing, and they will keep trying to do it even in the toughest of situations. And that's why we won 4-3 on Saturday. We didn't defend set pieces well enough. We conceded a few too many chances because we weren't as tight as we want to be, but it's not easy. And so I've got a huge amount of pride in them winning the game, and I feel better about the game than I did on Saturday.
Have you been given assurances about the pitch for next season, Russ?
Yeah. It will be different next season, that's for sure. I think what the problem was this year, we played Hull at home and it was still looking okay. Then we had a massive downpour, and the ladies team played in it on the Sunday against Cardiff, I think, and then we played on it against Shrewsbury on the Tuesday, and it's never recovered. So I had 3 games in really quick succession in 4 days. So yeah, it's tough, really tough to recover after that, and obviously it hasn't had the work done because of COVID. So it's is what it is. There's lots of clubs dealing with it. I'm not sure many are having been in it. Obviously, most this year, I don't think any have been as poor as ours so far. But it's not an excuse. We're winning games at home. The boys are finding a way to adapt. We are going to have to keep finding ways for them to adapt and make sure. But I think we have to accept every now and again that performances aren't going to be as good as they have been at home, or as how we would want them all the time. And that's just the simple. So when I'm talking on Saturday about being frustrated and disappointed by some aspects, I still am. But also, I have to after watching it back and going on the pitch after, I have to put it into context for the players. And there'll be stuff that they know isn't good enough, but there'll also be stuff that I don't want them to stop doing. I don't want to take away, regardless of the pitch. And it takes a huge amount of character to show what they did.
How much sense of personal satisfaction is there from you that the side has just won 3 games in a row for the first time in 2 years under your managership? That must be it's a team effort, but there's also a personal accomplishment for you there as well.
Yeah, it's credit to everyone involved. I think we just want to keep rolling now. We just it's taken a long time to get to that point. So yeah, to win 3 games, you can see how much of a difference it makes in the league position, the mentality of the group to keep playing, to keep wanting to do it and to win on Saturday. I honestly felt they believed they were going to win because it becomes a habit. There's no doubt about it. And now, we have to make sure, whilst we're enjoying it, we need to make sure that everyone wants more. We have to want more of that feeling. So I think Oxford have shown what a big difference it makes in terms of they won a lot of games on the bounce. And you look at them now; they're in with a right chance again. Up a couple of games in hand up there. Shrewsbury have been on a great run, and it makes a huge difference when you're picking up points like we have. So yeah, hopefully we can continue. As I said, there'll be lots of things we'll still need to work on, even after winning 3 games in a row, and it's our job to make sure we're focusing on that and that we can continue to win and put in performances.
I am going to sound like a scratched record, a stuck record, and ask the boring questions, but it's very difficult not to, as a journalist, watching MK Dons win 3 games on the spin. 2 of those performances, the one at Hull in particular, just very impressive. It's very difficult to not look at the league table for all of us. I mean, maybe not for you, but for all of us to look at the league table and say, hold on a minute, Shrewsbury, then Oxford. Oxford would be a crucial game because it's very similar points. You're looking at the playoffs, aren't you, Russ? Come on.
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm not. Other people can. I'm not looking any further than tomorrow night at Shrewsbury, and that's a really boring answer for you, but it's generally how we've just been discussing it this morning in the office, and it's genuinely how we feel. We've got a feeling of what we need to do over the next 3 games. It's going to be tough. I think we're playing 3 teams who are in the top 8 in terms of the form table over the next 3 games. So 3 teams on good form, and then when we get through those, we'll see where we're at and see what we're doing and see how we're performing. See if we've got players back fit. See if we've been able to keep everyone else fit, and then we'll just wait and see. But no, honestly, you'll get the same from me the whole time, and eventually I'm sure you'll start not liking me for it. But honestly, my job is to focus on the process and make sure we improve in every area we possibly can. And and that starts tomorrow night, preparing for tomorrow night's game, and then we'll assess after that.
I just wondered, now you've been manager of the football club for a fair period now, and you've always been somebody that seemed very focused. Right from the beginning, I think you had clear ideas of what you wanted and you've carried them through. You're still quite a new manager. Are you still learning? Are you still day to day, even though you had that focus, even though you probably worked out what you wanted to do long before you became a manager, and I think we spoke about that before, are you still hitting days where you're like, oh, right, okay, and learning a few things as you go along as well?
Yeah, every day. Learn. I guess you're just trying to refine your own skills, trying to work out what really works, what stuff I don't like so much, how we can improve. I think that will always be the case. I think we're never ever going to be complete as a manager or a player, whatever. There will always be stuff to learn. I think the beauty of being process driven, I guess, is that I have to constantly ask myself questions about, could I have done that better? What's that situation going to require next time? Whether it's with the players, whether it's with preparing for opposition, whether it's in game training, off the pitch. So yeah, there's so much involved in this job, and I knew there would be whenever I got the opportunity. But when you step into it, you really realise how much energy you need to make good decisions, to treat people the same way, to give everyone the same energy as the first person that comes in your door in the morning. So I'm always learning. I'm really enjoying it. I feel like I'm becoming a better manager than what I was at the beginning. But I think I've had real clarity in how I would like the culture, how I would like the team to play, which has helped sort of shape everything else, and it work off the back of that. And first and foremost, it's about people, and the people I work with have been incredible, so they're a huge help. So I'm learning all the time. I'm learning a lot about the players we have and about where we want to get to and how we're going to get there. And I think winning games helps just give us a bit more, less stress, less worry, and actually really focus and drill down on the bits we really need to learn from, and and a bit less firefighting, we can really try, and we've given ourselves a little bit of a cushion now, so we can really try and improve on what we're doing with the players having a little bit less fear. I think they should always feel a little bit of fear until you're 100% safe and sound in the league and you can look onwards and upwards. But what they've done now is they've given themselves a little cushion so they can play with a little bit more confidence and freedom without having that fear of, which for the first year and a bit we had in the job, which was always trying to stay in the league. And we need to do enough to do that this year, and then I said that all the way along, see what we can do after that.
And it's still your plan, your aim to try and guide MK Dons to the championship. That's still your aim.
Long term, yeah. I think I don't know if I've ever said that, but I feel, yeah. I think the club wants to. The club, listen. The owner of the club and wants this club to be as good as it possibly can be. I feel like we're still fixing a lot of stuff that went wrong over a long period of time. So we're not fully recovered or repaired yet, but we're getting there slowly but surely. I think that we've got a lot of really, really good people on and off the pitch, which can definitely take us forward and improve us and move us forward. So, yeah, long term, I want to manage at the highest level I possibly can. I want to do that with this group of people would be the best feeling ever, because, as I said, they've been the support I've got from day one, from everyone, the buy-in, the collective culture we have is, I love it. So yeah, but I'm not going to promise that this season. I'm not going to promise that next season. It's about improving and making sure this club is in a much better place and much more healthy than it was when we took over. And but long term, yeah, of course I want to be there, and of course I'd love this club to get there. So what timescale I don't know, but yeah, eventually, of course. Otherwise we'll be sitting here and I'll just, with no ambition. It's dangerous, but at the same time, I don't think we can be in a rush, and we need to make sure we're set up properly around the whole place, and by the time, if we ever get there, that we're ready for it.
I think time frame is maybe not so much the issue for fans. It's just that with one or two rumours flying around that it would be you that would be the person that would be staying to do that job regardless of the time frame.
Yeah, I got asked about that on Saturday, and it is what it is. I think if listen, that's not me, that's the players picking up good results and really buying into the way we want them to play and having the bravery to do it. And that's why a lot of our players have had attention this year and obviously in the summer window and January as well, because of the courage it takes and the confidence, and they have to be good players, and they're really improving. And if that means that the manager of the team gets noticed as well, then it's nice. It means you're doing something right. But at the same time, I said to you, I'm not in a rush. I think I'm very, very young for a manager, one of the youngest in the league. There's no doubt about that. And as I said, I'm really invested in the people here, really invested in the culture we've built. It's taken a lot of time and a lot of work to get to this point. So to want to leave that now quickly would be madness. So there'll come a time when the club either don't want me or becomes or they want some money from me. Either way, whatever that is. But hopefully that's in a long time to come. I'm enjoying it. I'm learning a lot. I need to keep learning. We need to keep getting better. And as I said, to achieve what I want to achieve as a manager with this football club would be the best feeling after the opportunity I've been given. So, but honestly, I wasn't like that as a player. I didn't read it. Whenever you were linked with stuff, I never read into it. I was fully invested in somewhere with a group of people for a long time, and I had chances to leave there on numerous occasions, and I didn't because of how invested I was in the place, in the people, in what I was doing. I loved it. Rightly or wrongly, people always had their opinion on it, but and I feel the same way now as a manager here. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see what the future holds. But for now, I'm very happy and just purely focused and intent on improving us and making sure we move forward.
I suppose it goes back to my question earlier about always learning. You're now learning how to answer questions from journalists about interest in you and players from elsewhere. It's all part of the process, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, I'll just ramble on. I'll just try and be honest with you guys always. I think you always get that from me, and it takes a little bit long sometimes, so I do waffle. But yeah, I think for me, like when I talk to you guys or the players, I just try and be as honest as possible, because that's ultimately, if I'm asking for that from them on the pitch and off the pitch, then I have to lead in that way. So yeah, you'll always get an honest answer from me. But at the minute, that is the honest way I feel about things is, I'm really loving what we're doing.
Just one more from me about Shrewsbury, and next up, I kind of talked about Shrewsbury and then Oxford, but we do that, don't we? We look at the next 2 games; it's just the way it is. But aside, below you in the table, and for the first time in a long time, there's no fear of playing away from home. There was we talked about it, didn't we? Before that away win came, there was a fear of going on the road. There's no fear now. It's another game you prepare for, you focus on, and you try and get 3 points from.
Yeah, and that's what the last few away games in particular have done for the group. There's no doubt about it. They look forward to playing whoever we're playing, whether it's at home or away. And it's going to be a really tough game. First and foremost, I was so pleased last week to see the news that Steve Cottrell was out of hospital. That must have been such a challenging period for him and his family, and for him to come through that battle is, sent him a message, and he sent one back this week, which I wasn't expecting, but brilliant. Fantastic. He's out and hopefully on the mend and on the road to recovery. Obviously, Albie has done a fantastic job whilst he's away. A guy you all know and I know really well from my time at Norwich. He was a brilliant servant here and a great character. So we'll look forward to seeing Albie. But he's done brilliantly, considering it's his, going into his. I know how he feels. He's gone into his first coaching role and then had to deal with that, which is obviously a huge thing to deal with, and they've done it brilliantly. The players have really worked hard to put them in the position they are, because they were in a tough position when they took over. So they've been on really good form. As I said, they're right up there in the form table. It'll be a tough game, but as you said, it's one after winning 3 games in a row. We can go and attack and look forward to and try and go there and dictate what kind of game it is. But it will be tough. The players know that. But it's one we can really look forward to, and it should be a good game.
Thanks, Ross.
No problem.
Speaking of Aaron Wilbraham, did he strike you as a player who had managerial credentials about him?
What he struck me as is someone who got on brilliantly with everyone in the dressing room, really knew how to relate and to build a relationship with any type of player, really, whether it was 18, because he was like an 18-year-old when he was 30, or it was an older player, and we would chat about family and life, and just a top guy, really. Albie, a great guy, great to have in the dressing room. I can see why Steve would want him with him in terms of having someone to really relate with the players and build really strong relationships with. And it looks like he's continued that now. So I'm really pleased he's got the opportunity to do it. And it looks like he's grasped what he's been doing whilst the manager was away. That he's been coping with it really, really well. So it'll be good to see the big man. But hopefully we can come away with the points and we can have a chat after.
Probably wasn't your side's finest hour when you played Shrewsbury earlier this season, but I think both sides have come on leaps and bounds since that last game.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really different game. I think we started poorly and then played really well in the second half. It was one of those games, but they were very good on the night, and it was obviously the manager's last game in charge, and I think they played with a fearless attitude, really, of like there was nothing to lose, and they're going to be a bit like Northampton on Saturday. The team's changed, the mentality's changed, the dynamic of what they're doing has changed a little bit, so it is going to be a really, really, it's going to be a different game, I feel, because we've come a long way since then. I think they have as well, so it's going to be an interesting game, because obviously they've got games in hand as well that means they can really move up the table. So I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a good challenge for us, and I'm sure they'll be feeling the same way, because they've been on good form, as have we.
4 strikers all scoring goals. I mean, what a lovely headache to have after what felt like a long period with only Cameron Jerome hitting the net.
Yeah, that's nice. I think if the way the games have gone recently at home, because of obviously what we spoke about earlier, making it difficult, we've needed goals, and I think we look a real threat. We got real power and intelligence up front. They all bring something really different. They all put in a hell of a shift for the team, which is the most important thing. But yeah, what brilliant. We've not had that since I've been here. 4 really strong options up front. Every single one that we trust, and every single one that is in good form. And obviously with Charlie getting off the mark and Griggy now scoring goals. So they'll all be desperate to play. And I think those 2 positions and the wing backs in particular are positions that require so much intensity, so much energy, and require freshening up. So it's good that we've got good options across that whole top end of the pitch now, and really, really pleased with that, where that's going. And they really they back each other as a unit. They believe in each other. They encourage each other. You know, there's competition, but it's really, really healthy, and that has to keep going. And there's a real good mix of two players, Griggy and Mace, who have got a lot to prove, who should be entering their years, you know, their prime years really, and they're two fantastic players, there's no doubt about it. And then Charlie, who is desperate to go and do what they've done and to try and kick on. And then Cammy, who has obviously been at the highest level and is still really hungry, and what he did when he come on has been outstanding. So yeah, as long as they all continue to put a shift in for the team and continue to show the hunger and that group mentality that they want to do well for each other, then we've got really strong options, and it gives us loads to work with towards the end of the season.
We're about to speak to Zach Jules. How have you rated his start to life at MK Dons?
I think he's been great. I think he's been really, really good. I think long term he's been brought to play in a different position to what he is now. But we saw it as a quick way for him to get playing and to really add to us. And I think he has. You know, he's got a goal. He's had a couple of chances. He's been a real threat for us, learning a new position. He's never played there, and we do it differently he's been playing left back, but it's a very different role to that. So he's adapting really well, and I think he's done better than he thinks he has. And I think with Zach, we're trying to get him to realise what a good player he can be. I think the intensity is a big difference to what he's been used to, and I think he's still getting up to speed with that. But he's been great. I really, really like Zach. As a player and a person, he's going to be a really good signing for us. And the fact he's showing now how capable he can be in a different position is testament to him. So long term, we still see him playing a bit further back. There's no doubt about it. But Dino's been in great form. So he's made us stronger. That's what I would say. He's definitely made us stronger, and it's given us competition. You can see again, Danny coming on. Danny knows he has to have a real impact, and he come on and set up the last goal. So it's brilliant. They need to keep driving each other on, and Zach needs to keep adding his intensity, focus, and just keep adapting how he has done to be willing to learn a new position. He's done fantastically well.